What student doesn't love school trips? Any chance to get out of the four walls of the classroom is a treat for any student, and the teachers too. But one wrong turn and the exciting joyride can quickly become an epic misadventure. Buckle up because we're counting down the top 12 school trips that went horribly wrong. What's up, Factnatics? This is Discovery Amuse here, serving your daily dose of the most outrageous, outlandish, and out-of-this-world fun facts. Stay tuned for our number one entry because you wouldn't believe what the students discovered while they were out on a trip to the morgue. All aboard! Number 12, punked. Some teachers can be mean sometimes, but for a good reason. However, the teachers of Rosedale Elementary School in Ontario are a different kind of mean. It all began when said teachers told their 8th graders that they'd be going to Disneyland for their graduation trip. As expected, the kids were over the moon. To prepare and hype up the children, the teachers even conducted elaborate room-to-room orientations and handed out brochures for the trip. But a few days before the scheduled trip, just as the excitement of the students reached fever pitch, the teachers from hell dropped the bomb. They were going to a bowling alley instead. No! Keep watching because what happened in our number one pick is something you wouldn't wish even on your worst enemy. Number 11, slippery slope. Unless you're a professional hiker, it's always a good idea to stick to your hiking group. In September 2016, 30 students from Kennedy Catholic High School in Burien City were enjoying their annual hiking trip up Mount Si when two of them split off and scrambled up the trail. Suddenly, one of the adventurous students fell 90 feet from the mountain, resulting in severe head injuries. Meanwhile, his cohort got stuck while helping him. Rescue teams were able to save the stranded students by airlifting them to safety. The injured 15-year-old was immediately taken to the nearby hospital. Number 10, Battle of the Sexes. Who doesn't love going to the movies? They're even more special when you go out with your schoolmates. Am I right? Even better when your school pays for it. So what went wrong when the Dallas Independent School District decided to treat their 5,700 fifth graders to the movie Red Tails as part of their Black History Month curriculum? No girls were allowed. Instead, the female students were made to stay at school to watch the girlier flick, Aquila and the Bee. The school district's excuse? There wasn't enough space at the movie theater. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is not amused. Number 9, Drunk Chaperones. While we're in the subject of movies, this next story is a cross between Bad Teacher and The Hangover. In 2014, 75 students of Stanley Park High in South London were taken to a 7-day sports trip to Spain. However, problems started when the chaperoning teachers repeatedly went out to drink, leaving and neglecting the children in the hotel. One of the teachers was even reported to have gone back to their hotel room with a black eye. See, The Hangover, and others were accused of being hostile while under the influence of alcohol. The teachers must have had a bad case of short-term memory loss. Number 8, The Voyeur. In April 2006, British teacher Michael Clarkson went on a school trip to Portugal with 29 students. Perhaps in a bid to be called the cool teacher, Clarkson allowed the students to drink and party in the city without a curfew. He was so lenient that on the final night of the trip, the teacher even let one of his students borrow his hotel room to have sex with a girl. However, the student discovered that a video camera was set up inside the room pointing at the bed. When news of what happened reached the school, Clarkson got fired and was banned from teaching for 4 years. 4 years? Oh, good God. Well, serves you right, perv. Number 7, Knocked Up. This next entry will make your head swirl, especially if you're a parent of a teenage kid. In 2014, 28 female students in Bosnia and Herzegovina, aged 13 to 15, went on a 5-day school trip to the country's capital of Sarajevo. But 7 of them went home with more than just photos for souvenirs. They ended up getting pregnant after the school trip. The parents were naturally furious about the lack of supervision during the trip, but teachers said the parents were equally to blame for not educating their daughters properly. Methinks both parties have a responsibility. Number 6. CSI Gone Wrong. Don't you just love all those true crime shows on TV these days? But what if you chance upon actual forensic evidence in real life? That's exactly what happened to some 30 students from St. Thomas Aquinas High School in 2006 when they were playing detective for a summer class in criminology at the Fort Lauderdale Park. Their teacher, Sue Messenger, scattered fake pieces of evidence around the area, including fake skeletons, fake weapons, and bullet casings. However, one of the students found an interesting piece of evidence that looked all too real. A severed hand. When Messenger came over, she and the students discovered that it belonged to an actual dead man. When the police arrived, they confirmed it was the body of a homeless man who must have passed away in the park. Number 5. Beach bums. Cub Scouts are known to always be prepared, but nothing could have prepared this group of scouts for what they were about to see during a hiking trip. In 2015, half a dozen Cub Scouts aged 9 and 10 went hiking at the Torrey Pines State Park in San Diego, together with their parents and scout leaders. But the scouts and the parents were shocked when the pack master led the group through the nearby Black's Beach. Let's just say the beach wasn't suitable for all ages because apparently it's a well-known nudist beach. While the hike was quickly rerouted, the packmaster still got a mouthful from the enraged parents. Number 4. Tragic trip.
Classmates of a 12-year-old girl who drowned in the waters off of Galveston Beach last week.
This next story serves as a cautionary tale for teachers to be extra mindful of the kids during school trips. In 2015, 26th grade students and 2 teachers from the KIPP Voyage Academy in Houston went on a beach trip. But what was supposed to be a fun day at the beach quickly turned into a major disaster. 12-year-old Samira Carlin was last seen standing on a sandbar with 4 classmates and a teacher. But when 2 of the students got scared of the waves, the teacher, who was also a lifeguard, helped them swim closer to the shore. However, when the teacher came back to fetch Samira, she was gone. After 2 days, the Coast Guard finally retrieved Samira's lifeless body, which left her classmates devastated and traumatized. Number 3. History lesson fail. This next school trip certainly made Abraham Lincoln roll over in his grave. In 2012, a 7th grade class from Connecticut went on a trip to Nature's Classroom in Massachusetts. Nature's Classroom is an immersive outdoor education program that I'm sure has the best intentions. But when the students got there, they were made to reenact slavery. Yes, you heard that right. The instructors made the black students pretend they were being sold at an auction and even pick cotton. They even reenacted the Underground Railroad and role-played being on slave ships. The worst part, the director of Nature's Classroom defended the activity, calling it an exercise in empathy building. What in the name of Harriet Tubman was he even thinking?
Free. My people are free.
Number 2. Bear attack. In August 2011, 17-year-old Horatio Chappell went on an expedition to the Norwegian island of Svalbard, organized by the British Schools Exploring Society. The group's campsite, which was located 40 kilometers away from the nearest settlement, was surrounded by tripwires specifically designed to fend off wild animals. However, one fateful night, the tripwires failed, and a roaming polar bear was able to enter the campsite and claw its way into Horatio's tent. When another camper shot the bear to death, it was already too late, as Horatio died from getting mauled by the ursine intruder. We're finally down to our number 1 pick, but before that, make sure to smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Don't forget to choose all so you won't miss out on any of our latest life-changing, boredom-busting content. And of course, be sure to turn on notifications in your app's settings. Number 1. Creepy discovery. Just when you thought a trip to the morgue could not get any spookier, Wait till you hear about these high schoolers who had the freakiest time of their lives. In March 2005, a group of students from Port Richmond High School in Staten Island took a field trip to the morgue as part of their forensic science club activity. The students were shown jars containing brains of deceased people when one student noticed something odd. One of the jars was labeled Jesse Shipley, a classmate of theirs who died from a car crash 2 months earlier. Holy mother of cadavers! After the brain was confirmed to be Shipley's, his bereaved parents, who had no idea their son's brain was taken out of his body, sued the city and decided to rebury their son a second time together with the organ. However, in 2015, the case was dismissed because, according to the New York Court of Appeals, the medical examiner was not obliged by law to advise the family that their son's brain had been retained for further investigation. And there you have it, the top 12 school trips that went horribly wrong. How about you? What's your terrible school trip story? Let us know in the comments section below. Take home our exclusive gear by browsing our merch shelf or clicking the link in the video description. And while you're at it, take our quiz to find out how you can earn extra cash online doing what you do best. Awesome, right? And if you've got a taste for trouble, don't miss our countdown of the 12 science experiments that went horribly wrong. Till then, stay adventurous, Factnatics, and see you in the next video.